we never understood what was going on at the time because they never taught this stuff in school. So I didn't learn anything about Black history until I was in my late 20s. Actually, that's when I was just introduced to it. And what had happened was, it was just an awakening. It was like, wow, you know, look at what these motherfuckers have done to us. So you start feeling a way, right? And I've always loved my own, and I will love my own. So I'm a professor in training, and the police came to my suite, and the neighbor's like, hey, you know, they came to your suite and they came with a mental health nurse. And I thought to myself, you know what, that's pretty offensive, because you know what, I don't take any pharmaceuticals. And you know what, I feel really sorry for, you know, the ones that end up shooting police officers, because you know what, if you ever see how they behave, they treat a black professor like this. How do they treat these ones that don't even know their rights? So I'm walking here, and I got in touch with, this morning, I got in touch with the RCMP, and asked them to come into the community to start arresting Toronto Police Service. These guys, if you ever see how they treat blacks in Toronto, it is unbelievable, unbelievable. You know, it's like you can't laugh about the situation, but you have to actually laugh at how pathetic things are. Filming all of this, I'm going to get in touch with the National Film Board and see what they're going to say. And we'll see who comes driving around. Well, what are you doing? What are you doing? Crossing the street right now? I'm looking right at the driver. Thank you. And you can see the driver in the background. So what you do is, when you respond to racial profiling, one of the things you do is you have to be able to contain the anger. And I don't even think it's anger, but the violation. And even though you're trying to get ahead, they're doing things to bring you back. So, for example, I have no criminal record. I don't even drink alcohol. I don't smoke anything. I don't smoke. You have a lot of people, they're strung out. Where I live in that pharmaceutical ghetto, it's like crack addicts and cocaine and all this, like, and you know what? They're Caucasians. They're not blacks, they're Caucasians. And I'm looking at them, I'm like, you guys are a bunch of fucking dirty motherfuckers. You know? And you know who's getting harassed in the community? The blacks. Blacks, no drugs. And then on the news, you don't hear about this on the news. So I'm going to cross the street right now. You don't hear about this on the news. So I don't even watch Eurocentric media at all. And quite frankly, what you have to do is you have to be able to contextualize, okay, what's happening here, but you also have to watch videos, you have to talk to people, you have to read about this stuff, you need to go for a walk. And, you know, like, I'm walking around, and I ended up phoning, it's really funny, with the Toronto Police Services Board, okay? I'm phoning them, and I'm saying, hey, you know, come into the community and talk to the community to actually listen to what is being said. They are under some kind of scrutiny right now, and you know, I wish that they would just all get fired. Every single one of them, even the chief of police, just get them all fired, because in Toronto they have a lot of murders. Like, apparently there was another guy that was shot yesterday, and you know, then they also have like these ones that go around and just shoot or whatever. And you know, my focus isn't on responding to people that don't do their job, right? So what you do with racial profiling is, yes, it's not anger, but it's a violation, and you feel that, right? And what I ended up doing was I ended up talking to the board. I left a message, and the message was forwarded to this chick who said she worked in the chief's office. You can see how dirty they are. Chief's office. And she's like, oh, well, I'm really sorry that you feel a certain way about the police. This is the message she left on my office phone number, right? And she's like, oh, I used to work at 12 Division, and you know, what else? That she made some citations to some people that she's connected with. And it's funny because, you know what? I complained against those, and I'm like, they're not going to kill me. I'll fucking kill them in the courts. So, you know what? What you do is you give them back their habits. Say, fuck you guys. Some of you guys fucking around with some of these people, you know what? Just drop it all. Drop it all. And if you're in a situation that you're jacked up with someone and you're like, oh fuck, now I got a kid with this piece of shit, right? What you do is you can be protected by that. You actually go into the courts and speak for yourself. What you say to people is that, you know what, well, I should say what you say to the judge. And if you're not comfortable with the judge, you ask for another judge based on a technical. You know what, I feel you have a conflict of interest. I want you to explain yourself about something. Okay, and they'll look at you. Do I need to paraphrase that? Like, use your language, though, right? Because they have to respond to you. And what had happened was this bitch called me from the chief's office. And she's like, I'm a sergeant and I work in this. Like, what I find with these Caucasians is that they have some kind of, they have very low self-esteem. And what they do is they try to assert their domination through abuse. And they put themselves out there as doing very good work. But when you see behind the scenes stuff like what I'm filming, you see like a lot of different things. And so one of my questions is, why do you have this problem with race to begin with in Canada? There's something in the Charter that acknowledges, you know, diversity, you know, different types of systems and cultural practices. And one of the things that's very slick with blacks is that blacks change just like this. Caucasians, their brain, I shouldn't say their brain, their system is completely different. Look at their history. Look at our history. We're still here. Nothing's going to happen to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go and go for a walk down this way here. Now, this is, you see the city of Toronto? If you look at the city of Toronto, it's a corporation. And you know what? The corporation, if you look at the names of people, they're all related. So they're all like similar ethnic groups and stuff. You should be seeing all different kinds. And so one of the questions is, how does a public infrastructure become a family-run enterprise? In racial profiling, responding to it, you have to actually recognize things like this. Now my battery is running out, so I'm actually going to end this and just let you know, just hang in there, and you got to fight them back, because they came to my suite. And, you know, the neighbors are like, but the neighbors are all fucking druggies. I'm not a druggie. I don't take any pharmaceuticals. I'm very clean. So, I'm working on a case right now, and my discourses and stuff have all been interrupted. And what I'm working on is actually something called teaching pedagogy, and how to actually get students more engaged in different types of issues, different types of work, etc. And just getting students working collaboratively on problem solving, so that when they leave the university, they go into industry and they're like, wait a minute here, this is just bullshit. We got to come together. We're going to come together across white, black, purple, polka dots, everything, right? And I'm just going to walk down to the sinkhole. See the dynamics here. So I'm just going for my walk. And today I'm actually going to visit 2 biomedical physicians. And one thing I wanted to say is, for those of you that are racialized, you know, people that are actually racially profiled according to medicalization, what you do is you get to know how your body system works. Start with some text from Dr. Leila Africa, and there's a person by the name of Dr. Sebi. and you can just look on the internet, but you have to try and look for his videos where he's speaking directly, because what happens is some Caucasians catch on to this, and also some Asians where it's going to take away from their money. They catch on to this, so they create these websites where they modify the information that Dr. Sebi is saying. So for example, if Dr. Sebi is talking about the composition of a cell, they may say, well, something like, well, he's actually talking about the composition of a cell that looks like this. And that's not true. So you just have to sort of scan this information. This is what they do. So we do like reconstructive like surgery when it comes to stuff like this in systems. So responses to racial profiling, what you do is just hang in there, and you know what, fight them back. I just bumped into somebody this morning, and he was like, I told him, he's like, hey, how you doing? He's on his way to work, and he said, you know what, I could be better, and I told him, and he said, you know,